Hello. If at any time you would like to talk to me about your journey or what you've been through or your experience, you can always email me at beingmsdiva@gmail.com and we can get together and have a conversation. And always remember, God loves you and so do I. And I'm here for you and I'm here to listen to your journey, to what you've been through. Have a blessed day and thank you. Hello and welcome to Being Miss Diva. I want to talk about believing in yourself. Um, it took me a long time to believe in me. I didn't see, I didn't feel anything within myself was worth believing in. Um, and that usually what happens um, to women that have been abused. They don't believe in themselves anymore. They don't believe that they'll make the right decision. They don't believe that they'll be happy. They don't believe that things will start working good on their behalf. Because it took me a while to believe in me. It took me a while to accept me, to feel better about myself. Um, like I said, an individual that's been abused, they go through different, I'm going to use the word trimesters, um, different stages, different episodes, different feelings, different attitude within their self. Because for a long time, while being in an abusive relationship, whether sexual, physical, mental, whatever abuse, abusive relationship you're in, you're so used to hearing negative about yourself. I got so used to hearing negative words that it became part of me, negative, being negative, not lifting myself up, not expecting to be lifted up. And if I was lifted up, I would be torn back down once again. That's how my relationship, my life, my attitude was. I'll be okay for a while. But here comes that negative attitude, negative thoughts, negative ways. I would get right back wound up in that there cocoon of depression, cocoon of frustration, cocoon of suffering, defeat. I'll climb one step, then I get knocked down two steps. Every time I thought I was heading in the right direction, I got pulled back because my thoughts kept coming. My thoughts kept telling me, you're nobody, you're nothing. And I felt like that for a while. When I was in the first relationship, I felt like that all the time. But I wanted to make sure that the abuser, and that's how, when you're being abused, that's how me, I'm going to say me, that whenever I was being abused, I was like a soldier. Um, Anything you told us, so you had to listen to your lieutenant. I guess you say, well, that's a weird way of putting it. But yeah, he was like a lieutenant. Whatever he said, I had to do. And if I didn't do, there was consequences of my being disobedient. And my life was filled with consequences. I felt if I did right, I got, it wasn't, if I did good, it wasn't good enough. If I did right, I left something out. If I said something, I said it wrong. So I had to be careful every step, every thought within myself. Abuse, a person who has been abused, it is um, something that if you've been in it for so long, you get so used to it that it's a common practice in your life. It's a common trait. It's just something that you expect is going to happen because you don't want to be surprised. So you set yourself up for defeat because you didn't want to think positive on certain days. Excuse me. When I think about the first abuse, when I was my kid's father, like I've told you in season one, it wasn't every day all the time, but when it was, it felt like it was every day. It felt like a never-ending story. Um, it was a love-hate relationship that I had for him. I loved it in a sense, but I hated what he was doing to me. Well, what I felt I allowed him to do. So I carried that attitude for years within myself. And as I do these podcasts, these episodes, so I do, live streaming on my YouTube channel. Um, I'm getting healed. I'm healing the more and the more. And there's times where when I sit and I listen to the episodes that I have done. I listen to, season one, the episodes I've done in season one. I listen to what I went through, what I experienced, how I felt. And I sit and I say to myself, I cannot believe that I am still here because of the thoughts that I would have. I want to continue to lift up single women everywhere. I want to continue to do the podcast, live streaming. I don't want to ever give up because I feel if I give up, somebody's going to lose. And I don't want no single woman to lose because I decided to give up because I was having a bad day or sad day. I don't want to give in to um, failure. I don't want to say, well, I've done enough. I don't need to say anymore. That will be truthful. That would just be a time where I'm feeling kind of down. But then when I listen to more of the episodes in season one, and I say to myself, I made it out. And I'm going to stay doing this for somebody else to make it out, for some other young woman, single woman to make it out, for some other single woman, single parent to say, if she did it, I can do it. I want to be able to say that by my testimony, young lady has been helped, has been delivered, has been set free. And abuse is something that never ends. It's a never ending cycle. It continues. It's not something that stops. Because sure enough, as I'm speaking right now, some young lady is being abused. And I don't speak of uh, anyone else but single women because I'm single and I went through abuse. I can't speak about men being abused. Of course, sure they're being abused too. I can't speak of married women being abused because I'm not married. So I speak about me to help another young lady, single woman, to reach her goal of escape, of happiness, to reach her goal to be able to talk about it, to reach her goal to be able to help another young lady out, to reach her goal to be what she's always strived to be. I strive to be happy. And I know what it is to be sad. And I want to help a young lady, single woman. And if you say single a lot, yes, because that's who I'm reaching out to. That's who I can only reach out to because I'm single. I'm striving to see or hear about a young lady that made it out, a young lady that's out and wants to talk about it, that she'll be able to go and speak in different places about her journey. It's like, this is what my desire is, to go to different places and speak and tell of my journey, what I went through. And sometimes when you going through something or gone through something or whatever, there's times where you'll be down. There's times where you'll be crying. Been there, done that. So you have to reach for that person inside, that's deep down inside of you, that young girl that was happy. Reach for, dig down deep. Like they say, when you dig and you dig and you dig, digging for gold. And if you continue to dig for gold, you're going to find gold. And I use a lot of, illustration. I hope that you understand. I use a lot of metaphors in regards to me. And if you dig deep enough, that little girl that's buried under all of that frustration, anger, sadness, depression, if you dig deep enough, you can uncover her and bring her to the forefront. And that little girl will help you to believe in yourself, because you'll see that girl that was covered up under all that there, um, I'll say dirt. When I mean dirt, frustration, sadness, loneliness, anger, bitterness, hateful. And when you find that little girl, that happy little girl, keep her. Keep talking to that little girl, saying, I am going to make it. I am going to make it. That's what I had to tell myself. I'm going to make it. I did. I may have failed, may have, fell back, but I was so determined to not get back into that abusive relationship because it took a toll on my life. It took a toll on me. It took a toll on my happiness. It took a toll on me. Like you'll never, if you've never been abused, you'll never understand. It took part of me, and it took a long time for me to get that part back. That part where I could trust, I can believe, I can walk with my head up and not be ashamed of what happened, the abuse that I went through. So that's the steps of believing in yourself. Take them steps. It took me a while to get over um, the shamefulness of what I went through. Um, took me a while to recover. I had to stay out of away from. It was like when a person is uh, drinking, in order for them to be delivered from it, they got to stay away from it. And like I said, when I was in my abusive relationship, I was like uh, a drug addict. I kept going back to the same, knowing that I was going to get hurt again. But for some reason, I couldn't stay away. I had to make up my mind that I'm going to stay away. And that's what you have to do. You have to make up in your mind, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to believe that I'm going to make it. I'm going to believe that it's going to get better, and it will. Believe in you. Believe in you. Exercise your right to be happy. Believe in you. Keep speaking positive things about you. Believe in you. Don't allow someone to say, well, you should be over this by now. You just scared, you just stop talking about it. No. The more you talk, the more you be healed. The more you get healed, the more you be delivered. The more you get delivered, the more you be set free. The more you be set free, then you can speak about it, talk about it, rejoice in the fact that you got out of it and that you're helping somebody else. That's what I am. A believer that I am going to help single women everywhere to let them know that there's a woman out here that's willing to listen, that's been through abuse, that's cried, that's been sad, that has been miserable. There's a woman out here that will listen and not judge, and that's me. I want to always be there. I'll never give up this podcast. I'll never stop reaching out because I believe that the day will come where I have a lot of interviews. The day will come where I have one-on-one conference calls, Zoom meetings with single women expressing ourselves. That day is coming. And I believe that it's coming because I believe in me. I believe in me. Thank you for listening, like always. God loves you, and so do I. Have a blessed day. Be blessed. Always be blessed.